Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Today we'll be checking out the OPPO A91, a budget smartphone that comes with a few tricks up its sleeve. So OPPO is touting the A91 as a camera-oriented smartphone, so let's see how it performs in the real world. Now in case you're wondering, the OPPO A91 is also known in other markets as the OPPO F15, so these are essentially the same device but with different names for different markets. The OPPO A91 is being sold at RM999 here in Malaysia, and that is less than $250 making this a pretty affordable budget smartphone. Holding the device for the first time, I noticed that the OPPO A91 doesn't feel too heavy despite its large form factor. The back panel is made of plastics, but it definitely doesn't feel like a cheap device. Now moving on to the front, this is where I'm really grateful to OPPO for giving us an AMOLED display instead of an LCD unit. With the 6.4-inch AMOLED display, you get great viewing angles, deeper blacks, and colors that pop in a pleasing manner. It's great for those of you who enjoy watching YouTube or Netflix on your smartphone. Moving on to the back, we see the main star of the show, and that is the quad camera that is supposed to take some pretty good shots. So what we have here is a 48 megapixel main sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, a 2 megapixel mono sensor, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. So after taking some pictures outside my house, I can say that the main sensor does a great job at taking outdoor images. Pictures are nicely balanced, comes with lots of detail, and actually looks quite natural. I did notice that white balance is slightly towards the warm side, but that didn't really bother me too much. In terms of close-up shots, the camera also did a great job at focusing well on the subject while blurring out the background. So here's a couple of images for you to evaluate. Moving on to portrait shots, it is kind of a hit and miss situation with the OPPO A91. So sometimes it is able to detect the edges on my hair nicely, but sometimes it just didn't fare too well. To be fair, my hair is not flat and even the iPhone 11 is not able to take perfect portraits too, so yeah. One thing I must mention is that low light portraits on the OPPO A91 is actually pretty impressive. The sensor is able to light up my entire dark room, and I actually managed to get some pretty decent portraits here. For this test, I turned off all the lights as you can see here with only 2 lamps on. The outcome image definitely looks brighter than my actual room. Last but not least, let's talk a little bit about the 16 megapixel selfie camera. I'd say it did a pretty okay job with portrait mode turned on, and you can choose to turn on or off beautify mode, but here's a couple of samples for you to check out. Now in terms of operating the OPPO A91 on the daily, I noticed that browsing through social media on the device was fairly smooth. I did not encounter any major lags or app crashes during my time with the A91. The Helio P70 paired with 8GB of RAM is good enough for the price you're paying here. As for gaming, playing games such as PUBG and Mobile Legends obviously isn't as smooth as flagship devices. It will also take a while to load, but that is to be expected. Regardless, it still gave me a decent gaming experience. Just in case you're wondering, the OPPO A91 scored 193,000 on the AnTuTu benchmark, and here's a screenshot on how it fared in each individual department. Last but not least, the OPPO A91 comes with a 4000 mAh battery, which is enough to last you a full day on one single charge. The charger that came in the box is a 20-watt unit and promises to get you to 50% in just 30 minutes, so that's good to know. A minor thing that wasn't so great about the OPPO A91 is the single firing speaker that just isn't powerful enough for my liking. However, those of you looking to plug in a pair of headphones should be happy to find that the headphone jack is still present on the OPPO A91. Alright guys, that's it for my quick review on the OPPO A91. All in all, the OPPO A91 is once again pushing the benchmark for budget phones to get better. Although it might not have blazing fast performance, it does come with an awesome AMOLED display and a great set of cameras. For the price of under 1,000 ringgit, I think the OPPO A91 is worth considering should you be in the market for a new budget smartphone. So what do you think? Do you think the OPPO A91 is good enough to disrupt the budget smartphone market? If not, which smartphone do you think is the best? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!